Let's go to Russ Vought on this, the former White House Management and Budget Director. You know, Russ, you look at all the dynamics in this $1.7 trillion spending package they're trying to rush through in the middle of the night. We haven't learned anything. Maybe eventually we will. But the rush to spend just to get out is on. I don't see it going away. What do you think?
We've learned nothing. The parties have learned nothing. We're on the verge of a new House Republican majority, and yet Republicans in the Senate are matadoring through this massive omnibus bill that they haven't read, that no one has assessed. We know it spends massively. We don't have that money available. And so as soon as January, we could have lower spending. We could have leverage points that allow us to get rid of some of the entitlement spending that's causing the social safety net to become a hammock. So why don't they do that, Russ? Why don't they do? Republicans know that they're going to have control of the House, albeit not by much, but it will be control. So why not a temporary CR, something like that to get us through the hump? They take over in January, then craft something more to their liking. Because they are afraid of conflict and confrontation with the Biden administration more than they care about dealing with the financial house that they're dealt with. And so they at all costs want to remove every leverage point for the House Republican majority to actually work its will. They want to provide a whole year of no leverage points and then have the benefit of going home and have FBI facilities named after Richard Shelby and Patrick Leahy reservoirs named after him. That's what they want. That's literally the swamp. That's the cartel. And unfortunately, there are limited ability right now to stop this, but everyone needs to do everything they can to slow the Senate down so that something happens in the next few days to bump this into January so we can actually take another shot at this and have lower spending.
You know, there's a little bit of friction. You're getting a sense between Mitch McConnell in the Senate, the Republican leader there, and Kevin McCarthy, who hopes to be the the Republican leader in the House. That's not such a sure deal. But how bad is that getting, in your eyes?
Right now, you know, Kevin McCarthy is doing everything he can to get the votes that I don't think he's going to be able to get. But I think the fact that they're just now having this friction is a sign of how far in unity the two parties have been as it comes to these leverage points. Kevin McCarthy had a White House meeting with all the other leaders in Washington, which he said he wanted to do an omnibus bill. That tune has changed, thankfully, and I think you're only going to see more division if Senate Republicans don't go where this new House Republican majority needs to go because they just were on the ballot, but the country needs them to because our economic policies are so out of whack.
You know, the administration, I think it said last week, maybe the week before, you know, I get so old, Russ, I forget what was happening in each week, but the administration more or less was saying by the end of next year, and it was referring to what was a more recent retail inflation number that was coming off its highs, that by the end of next year, we'll be in good shape. Do you buy that?
I don't buy that. I think that one of the things that I'll be looking to in the new year is the extent to which the changes that the Fed has made has ripple effects throughout the economy in firms and decision making that people have been way overextended by the cheapness of debt. And I think that's going to continue to play out all through next year. Even if you see inflation continue to come down, I don't think that's going to be leading the Fed to drop interest rates. And so I think that is going to be something that I'll be watching all of next year.
Got it. Russ, thank you very much and for your service to this country as OMB director. A tough task. You really have to know your math for that. Russ Vought is the former White House budget director.